OG's turn to ban.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the arena. I don't know if that's what we call it. OG versus Faceless, that's what we're doing now.
Dota Arena Championships.
Dota Arena, that's so not the name of it, but it at least fits. If we say it enough, fake news coming out from Ben right here. The Dota Arena Championships.
Don't talk to me about fake news. You're gonna...
Triggered! Hey, you're already the one knocking on my bush before. Okay,
That sounded wrong.
Yeah, it really...
What are you doing?
It really did. Like I've only seen Slacks for a couple of hours today. Like, it shouldn't be like that level.
Oh, I found a way to trigger Slacks. It was great.
Oh, how?
Yesterday, he was just like talking to people, like trying to shoot ideas back and forth.
Yeah.
I was like, why are you trying to get other people to do your work for you? He actually was quite triggered from that. You know, it was just a joke. I was like, but he was visibly upset. Every single time I try and trigger Slacks a little bit more, because he's very good at triggering me when he wants to. But that was the only time that I've actually upset him mildly.
Okay, can everyone actually trigger Slacks harder? I don't know how many people we have watching this stream right now or tuning in inside the game, but can you go to Slacks on Twitter and just tweet at him?
His ideas are unoriginal. You heard he stole his ideas from other people. Like, he just keeps recycling the same old stuff. He's not trying harder in his view. He will get that. Yeah.
Just send Ben. Like, just put Ben Wu sends his regards.
What?
That's all.
Why am I involved in this?
You're the one that called it out.
That's Stop talking about the facts here, too.
Well, let's talk about the draft
Stop spreading
instead.
fake news, dude.
Fake news. All right, brilliant. Timber and Rubik being banned out here by OG. Rubik is, of course, one of the most go-to support heroes of the Faceless lineup. Even back when 7.00 came out, they were picking Rubik in the first two, and even throwing him as a mid laner if it worked out for him, but that was a long time ago. No Earth Spirit, no Magnus, so no easy buff up and team fight for OG to win with, and OG just pick up the Centaur. That's how they'll start with it, and Ice is very, very happy to have his next assassin.
Next verse is pretty decent, but I think it's only versus team. I guess they do pick it. I do like it versus Ember and Storm. I guess OG actually picked a lot for Ana.
10 seconds remaining.
And you have to back yourself up. Let me give myself a +1.
OG's turn to pick.
Oh, hello, Invoker. Nice. Nice. Because this will be the mid Invoker for Faceless. There won't be any... every time I look at Faceless and I just say, oh, maybe this will be a black Invoker or something like that, it never is.
It's always Jabs.
Yeah, it's always Jab.
Jabs is a pretty good Invoker. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Reserve time.
So this actually gives Faceless a lot more kill potential to go with the next assassin. If he can get the initial stun off and then into Sunstrike.
Mm-hmm.
Normally though, you're gonna look for like another stunner to come up from the safe lane from Faceless. We can still look at the two supports.
Another stunner.
That was so not
There's
it.
3 stunners here. They have potentially 3.
Wrong team though.
Another stunner.
Wrong team.
Better rapping.
Yeah, you really are.
I actually wasn't even trying to rap.
Like, have you got to go to the OD school for rap gods?
I'm not play-by-play, bro.
You could be, man.
5 seconds remaining.
I'm not good at rapping.
I've heard you play by play. It's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
OG's
I can see what's going on.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, see, that's more than what I can do. I scream at the pretty lights. Do you know the first time I ever cast Dota? And it's like, I think it's appropriate that I tell the story, because the first time I ever cast Dota was actually a LAN event. I never actually cast it online before I cast it at a LAN event.
I'm so successful that the first time I cast...
Oh, no. I was not successful. I'd been casting for 3 months, and I was brought over as a Call of Duty 4 caster to the WCG, and this just proved who like WCG would bring in to cast your stuff. And they were like, yeah, do you know Dota? And I'm like, I've played a couple of pub games. And they're like, okay, you're the most qualified out of all the commentators we're bringing, so you're going to cast all the Dota games. And I'm like, oh, what? And I knew none of the abilities. This was in Warcraft 3 Dota, where you couldn't hover over a skill and see the name of it and everything it did.
You didn't know the names of the spells when you first casted?
I know.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so...
So you've casted for 10 years and you still haven't learned?
Wow! Wow! Just so many levels of FU.
It's all in good fun, Toby.
When I cast it, and luckily the audio recordings were so badly done that nothing of this was saved, but I would basically just describe things that were happening on the screen. And hilariously enough, most of the time I was actually close to the actual names of abilities. But I was a little bit off on some of them, and it sounded very odd, to say the least. But yeah,
oh, you
it was basically I see, I say, kind of casting. So it was very fun.
We can just do that this game. Centaur uses his...
It's really difficult though.
Stampede.
Brave. No, that's not how, you gotta say what you see. So you basically say like, Invoker drops his flaming rock.
Oh god. Oh, so it's like people that have never even seen Dota.
Yeah, like you don't know any abilities of anything. You probably played Warcraft 3 at some point of your life. So you'd know the name of the hero, and that'll be all you get.
Wow, lucky you. We can hover nowadays.
Yeah. Yeah, it was luxury. That was how I cast heroes in New Earth. I didn't watch the game for 6 months, and then whenever I forgot an ability, I just hovered over and looked at it.
Radiant
Thank you very much for that trip. Terrible times for me.
Traumatized.
Oh, it was possibly the most laziest time in my casting career.
That's saying something.
Yeah. That actually does, like...
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, because normally I'm not very lazy in my casting.
5
like, ever.
seconds remaining.
All right, back to the draft. Alchemist.
Let's talk about the game, right? That's what we're here for, right?
Oh, I was watching
not story time.
There wasn't anything super strange.
It's all pretty standard. The Undying is probably the only other question mark, but it is something.
They love Undying.
Yeah, Faceless have done it multiple times. And the Warlock fills the same role, right? Like it's that team fight control and lane presence that you get from the Undying.
They don't have a good way to deal with Stampede though. Stampede is great. I think Centaur has won most of his games here at this tournament. I think, like before last series, he was 4-0. He gets nerfed constantly, but he's still godly.
Easiest way, man, is just survive and then pull them back. What? Against Stampede, right? That's all you want to do.
Survive?
Yeah. Survive and then turn around and fight him again.
Oh no, I'm talking about counter initiation.
Okay. Isn't that just when you? Isn't that just when you use tornado? Like,
ideally, but everyone's hasted. Wait, does it put them? It puts them at 550 now. I actually didn't realize that. The 522 to 550. No one really considered it. It's like, but now that I'm actually like talking about it, I'm like, it actually buffs Centaur. Everyone moves 28 move speed faster, which is kind of important. 28 moves is a lot. It's like a talent. That's like a good talent. The bad talents are like 15. A good talent is like 28. Huh, interesting. It's obvious that the move speed is 550 now for patch notes, but some of these small interactions you don't consider. Anyways,
Kunkka.
Oh, another way to move faster. Kunkka Rum.
OG's turn to pick.
Earthshaker's a good way to keep him.
Actually gives an insane amount of team fight. Like, how much damage you even do? Like, when Kunkka throws out his ship and Centaur triggers his ultimate.
Not much, but you do have you just need to be able to survive until the boat wears. But that's hard. They have no like real good defensive supports that are good at kind of running in and out of the fight or counter initiate. I guess Warlock kind of. But
Faceless kind of looks like the team where they jump in and they start the fight.
Yep.
Instead of OG. Like, you got Earthshaker, Warlock, like Nyx Assassin's going to be your initial setup as well. Like
Sunstrike, Meteor Blast, all this is like first 4 seconds of the fight. Whereas Kunkka, Boat, Gravekeeper's Cloak, and Stampede with Ags is a lot of mitigation for first plus seconds of the fight. So if they execute correctly and stun multiple heroes so they can't pause their defense cooldowns, yeah, I can see this working out for Faceless. But back to the Drow Visage.
Yeah, well, she got banned in the 5th when OG tried to do this last time.
But Drow Ranger. Their anti-push is actually terrible. Fissure is not good anti-push because that cooldown is so long and it's one of your biggest teamfight spells.
And Black's the last hero.
Yeah.
Like it's the one position here that looking to fill, unless we're looking at like a damage dealing position Earthshaker.
No.
Hey,
Black's a little bit eccentric, but not.
who was it yesterday that was trying to talk it up where you get the double I think it was Fogged, who was trying to talk up the double totems. So your damage output is actually insane.
What's a double totem?
With the talent upgrade on Earthshaker, you actually get 2 totems.
OGs turn to ban.
Basically, like straight after the other with the
Oh,
cooldown
yeah.
timer on it. So like your lockdown and your damage output is actually huge on him.
Yeah, you would need, I think, some way to buff him up, though. Magnus, for example. Magnus Shaker sounds great.
Lena.
But then you'd have to run a safe lane Magnus.
Really
And now
goes
Lena comes up from OG, so we've seen the Chinese already using it a hell of a lot with the early Bloodstone Lena and the almost non-existent death time. It seems like it's OG's turn to run that Lena mid.
Oh, Lena has so much attack speed, too. That synergy with the pursuit.
10
Yeah, they're gonna rip
seconds
through
remaining.
buildings.
They really are. Faceless, I'm very scared for their early game. Last game, they had a great early game, a great lineup to deal with the early game. It just kind of fell apart in the Bloodseekers. This game, it seems completely flipped.
Do you like to say like, hey Black, you gotta play like a Naga Siren? Like we need to have the
No,
Song of the
no,
Siren to
no.
slow this game down.
Naga, you will just lose in 20 minutes.
Well, what else do you do?
You had to fight them head on with, I don't know.
Yeah, with what? Like, you're not gonna
Some,
jump in there with a
like,
Phantom Assassin. She's gonna die almost
Junk,
instantly.
Gyro, something like that. Some early team fighter. Lifestealer is not good here.
Does Juggernaut like get completely destroyed
Oh,
when the
PA
Visage?
is okay. PA is not great, but it's
I could see PA
playable.
getting nuked. Like that's my
You
issue.
can jump on Visage or Drow Ranger. You have a good team fight around you. I would. PA's not bad. Slark.
Slock's already banned.
Oh, Slark's banned. Okay.
Yeah,
So what else do you have? Venge would have been good. You can swap the Drow Ranger, and that's a very good way to start off the fight.
she has.
I don't
banned
know.
the
Gyro Jug is kind of good options, I think. Black. I'm sure there's more, but I can't top of my head right now.
Some with good D push.
Troll's not bad. I actually do like Troll's
Troll
pretty
Warlock?
decent. They don't have anyone to synergize. Invoker is not the. Oh, Spec. Oh, they are. Oh. Whew.
This could really bite him in the ass. Just looking at the draft. Like we did see some spec play earlier today, which was quite decent. In fact, Spectre was even running an aggro tri-lane, and they found the damage out of that. But
I think Spec is going to get aggro tried here. Earthshaker is a very weak support, especially in try-on-try situations. That's
so what
not his type of
you're
thing.
actually thinking like you're gonna run the Centaur and Nyx on the top lane, and then just
Centaur
put
would crush
like
Nyx.
Dro, Kunkka, Visage on the off lane.
Sure, Visage is great in tri-lanes. Visage is one of the best tri-lane heroes.
I suppose like what's the Earthshaker? Like Warlock should still be really great at harassing out the lane, but if you got a
He's
with-
not good on 3-on-3 though, because
Mm.
Shadow Word is great on like 2-on-1, 3-on-1, but when it gets to 3 heroes, like Fatal Bonds is like okay.
I suppose what are you gonna do? You're gonna dodge? You're gonna put the Nyx Assassin on bottom lane up against this? You're probably just gonna lose the Nyx Assassin straight away.
Well, we'll see.
It seems like a
Um,
very
I
rough
do think you
draft.
dodged though. I think you kind of put your Spectre away from the action. You're just like,
Yeah.
you know, Drow Rangers might take a tower or two, but you need Spectre to get like.
But the way from the action's only gonna last for 10 minutes.
The Spectre needs whatever she can get.
It seems like a very rough end, no matter how you look at it.
Spectre is a hero that can get on top of Drow Ranger. So let's look at why
Yeah.
Spectre is good here. Spectre's tanky, so you won't get bursted down by other guns.
Yeah.
Spectre's good at chasing down heroes and a decent amount of loose speed, so Stampede's not the biggest issue in the world. It's good at causing a lot of chaos in the fights, which Drow Ranger does not like. You do not want anyone close to you as Drow Ranger. You just want to be able to shoot from like 700 range away with your ideal. So all these things are good, and it's also very, very good late game. Sometimes you might have some scaling issue. Right click is like offlaner. But downside, you get crushed in lane, and you're terrible at anti-push without items. It does not look like it's game where Spectre. However, they have placed in Reservoir Ward deep on the bottom lane. They did use a smoke.
I like how they're both trying to get the wards down. Dang, did they scout that out? Did they scout that maneuvering from Kunkka? Like, Jirex came up and he still had an Observer Ward on him, but that Dire Observer was right on top of the shrine.
Oh, they pinged it.
Oh, it's almost the same as before, and they retreat to the. Okay, wrong buttons.
Well, those two sentries cover the entirety of that spawn.
Yeah. So they know they're going to get their pull. They know they're going to get the early experience.
But it was a sentry order expended for a sentry value sentry. And not the best for them.
But they still keep their own observer
Oh, another
down.
smoke. Oh, this is aggressive. No-tail. Jerax Fly going for...
They had the vision. Why not? Like, all they have to do is just wrap around. They're
XY's there, though.
They'll go for anyone who goes for the rune. And Jabs, yeah, you could taunt all you want as the Invoker. You're dead. He'll run back in. The smoke will break. The torrent's right on the money. And Jabs has nowhere to go but down. The Sunstrike's coming in, but they all split up. They ensure that No-Tail gets the last hit. So the Draw Ranger will be buffed up. They don't take the rune as well, but they will be able to take the rune from their own jungle. But that's a huge start. Now Ana has more space in the mid.
And he got the block off, too. Get that creep. That is possibly one of the worst as a melee or range-on-range matchup.
The upside is the Jabs doesn't lose any money from it. Like, he already bought up his salve after he grabbed the rune, then he was running back into the mid. And when he TP'd him, that's the only money he does expend. And I get a funny feeling that was actually purchased by one of his supports and not him. But you are right, the lane position is going to cost him.
He does have 2 range creeps against him. Should be okay. Oh, Ana actually go for the level 1 stun. You don't see that very often. Normally it's Slave and Fiery Soul Slave. Slave cast point is way shorter, and it's also way longer range too, so you generally just use it to get a last hitting and constantly harass the hero. For Light Strike or Ray, the radius is a little bit too small in order to... And a hero at the same time. It's very good at like, anti-range creeps and just super important.
S4 barely survives the Shadow Word on bottom lane. Lycanus really trying to get up in his face. S4 is still able to get a lot of experience out of this lane, so he's perfectly alright with what's going on. The Observe Ward that got dewatered out by XY, so Vision is kind of already their way. And you can see Jerax trying to like repair the situation by running forward and getting a ward a little bit further to the north. Trying to force a sentry ward out to also stop that. S4's going to find some extra life. These tangos as well, Salve is just not cutting it. He needs to have his Tranquil Boots done. He's already having to burn the Shrine 2 minutes in.
That's fine. Warlock Spec is one of the stronger Spectres. I think Lich Spectre and Warlock Spectre. Not a surprise that he's struggling a little bit. He also has to worry about Sunstrike.
Well, keep my eyes on this Drow Ranger. Mainly how much space she's able to get, like how quick does that level 6 arrive for No-Tail?
I like how the supports aren't soaking up the experience. That's one of the main things.
Oh, nice fissure. Stun to follow up from Size, but then Torrent Spike Arrows cause a little bit of issues. The Sunstrike Fly turns around to stand his ground and fight. They're trying to use the double damage on XY to make this work, but No-Tail, he went for the 2 points up in the cold arrows, making this very difficult for Nyx Assassin to have any chance of escaping. The only chance he has to deny himself, he's trying to time it up perfectly to take the damage from the trolls, but it won't work. Not when Jerax is able to hit the perfect Torrent.
Jerax actually TP's pretty efficient. Yeah, that's...
It's funny that he TP'd to that shrine when they're just going to trigger up the other shrine right next to both Ana as well as Fly.
Yeah,
they're a little bit more odd.
That happens. Not commuting 100%. I don't know. There's always that sort of thing in chat. Some people like to keep it as minimum as possible, so the really important things across.
Size taking a lot of damage here. He doesn't want to turn around and battle up against Centaur. And S4's very happy with this. Does the damage, TP's out. Can actually get by both his Ring of Protection.
No Sunstrike was...
Yeah.
They really needed that. I think it would have been a kill, but 162. Pretty sure it was that. Oh, early game. Ana getting the better of the mid lane. Probably because of that level 1 maneuver inside of OG. Spectre very high on the CS. That is obviously pretty good for them. Sorry about the same. How are the supports faring? Level 2 on Warlock. Message and...
Hello. XY picked up, thrown back. He was X-marked into Torrent. This will put him into a bad position, but Ana being cold snap needs to get out of vision. But now with a frostbite hitting him, the soul assumption's there from Fly, and the fissure is still not enough to kill off Ana. There was the Forged Spirit inside the pit, giving that extra vision, but X-mark spotted Torrent. That's XY very much dead. And OG now 5-0 on the board. This is a lot better early game for them.
JRX making the moves in the early game. Visage is also just very, very strong. They try to contest it with 2, which I'm a little bit surprised about, just because Earthshaker is not the strongest in dual lane unless you have like a super badass he's more defensive off lane.
They're going in deeper. Ana doesn't have his level 6 just yet. But with an X-mark and Torrent... Wait, hang on. He's X-marking himself but doesn't have enough mana for Torrent.
I think he might have wanted a TP.
He had the mana for the TP, just decided not to trigger it.
Maybe...
He just put an Observer Ward on top of an Observer Ward. So that's not going to last very long.
Spectre very close to level 6, going for a phase boost and the magic stick, very early game centric build. If you hold off for Radiance, it's just not going to work out well for you because Dry Ranger and the rest of OG have had a pretty good start, so you can expect your towers to start falling pretty soon. Ana clearing up for that. Can that kill on jabs? Yeah.
There's the Jirax TP. Back up to top lane. Fly's making his way over.
Oh, he's going for a phase.
That's only half a level away from having his level 6.
Oh, he showed with the stun.
Well, so with no stun, does he actually have enough mana? He's got enough mana for a Spike Carapace. And just over, but now silenced up, Spike Carapace will hit in. Fly has a lot of charges up in that Soul Assumption, and with one last attack in from Notel, they'll find the kill. Fissure block really keeps Fly out and Jirax in the river, but no one else is rotating up to really capitalize on the situation.
You mentioned that the Zero Ward is going to die, but they had full vision behind the tower and knew that no one was there to save Ice. Wasn't able to pop the Carapace, very nicely timed Guts coming from the. That will make the score a 6-0. Faceless. Potentially they can kill very soon. Level 6 is up on Spectre, however, he does not have enough for both Taunt and the Spectral Dagger. Kill with it. I would say mid's probably the best. Invoker with Cold Snap plus Spectre on top of her.
Onto the
very
Lina.
good. Yeah.
But at the same time, like if you commit too heavily, too far, Lina's just going to nuke you.
You gotta get killed.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't disagree with it.
One level with the Sprint is enough.
Oh, Jirax.
Kill Spec.
He's trying to juke it in the Roche bit. But he's got the movement speed. Just basic boost is enough. Top lane, Sunstrike, right onto the Dro Ranger. It says Notal hits level 6, you expect him to be the aggressor. But Black jumps up, finds the kill on the safe laner, and then we'll have to TP straight back down to bottom lane.
You got mangoed from my side?
I believe so.
What a bro.
Well, Ice is getting pretty close to getting his Arcane Boots. With that kill up on top, he gets more space to farm. And his net worth is only like 600 gold behind that of the Dro Ranger. In fact, the amount of money on Notal is quite low. And you see Notal switch the lane. Like, he comes down to bottom lane, you got a decent creep wave, you got S4 with Stampede up and running, and they're just going to force the tier 1 tower on bottom. No Spectral Haunt, it's a license to fight. Oh, Korea.
Has been killed.
And now Fly's in trouble too. Sunstrike after the 2 stuns, no way for Fly to survive that.
The instructions are fortified.
Oh, they use a scan on bottom. Black is scouted out. His TP is down though, so he's gonna have to sit there for 20 seconds-ish.
Yep, and just burn his Spectral Dagger, so he has to stand in the tree lines on the side. Now, you got no way for OG to get there, but they don't care. Spectre is removed from the fight for too long, and that's a tier 1 tower then. I think Jirax is actually looking for him with Torrent.
Under attack.
I don't even think they can get there. They have the Killing Blade like 10 trees. But they know that he did use his TP.
There goes the tower. It's a little bit of a miss on the last hit. It was only the creep that took it.
Midas still not out for Invoker, but 9 minutes. Person's recipe right now. It's pretty decent.
Not too shabby.
I don't know, we'll be going to Bloodstone first build. The norm nowadays.
Is that the Dominator on the Courier? I thought you just completely misclick it. Yeah, it is. So the Dominator is coming down for Notel. Might want to TP up to the top lane just a bit. With a Dro Ranger, if any tier 1 tower is still standing, especially with a start like this for Notel. Like, you want them all down in 15 minutes, by the 15-minute mark.
Alright, Sai searching for potential prey. It is S4 though. Sunstrike, they're going to need a lot more than just a Sunstrike.
It's the Earthshaker Fissure. That's what's going to hold him here a little bit longer, but S4 gets the Stampede off and gets away. So Spectral Haunt gets wasted and no kills. Yes, you burn Stampede, but with no Spectral Haunt, Notel feels very confident to do his push, and they're looking to the mid. And this is Fly, who's still short of level 6 himself. There's no familiars to just buff this push-up, but that's why they have the Wild Wing. Tornado up makes it very difficult for Faceless to get in close and stop this push.
They even have a Observer Ward behind the tower still.
Jirax finds his target. And he's got the extra nuke available, but doesn't throw out the Laguna. Had more than enough to kill him with base abilities. And goodbye top lane. S4 gets picked off there.
I did like how he used the Carapace to try and line him up. Broke the Vendetta last time. No, not really able to connect. Lina doing Lina things, trying to pick off nuts in the bottom lane. She's just such a menace with Drought Aura.
How much she actually do? She's doing a decent amount.
It's just her attack speed and her range is so high that it's very eager to kill stuff. I wonder what talent she actually takes the respawn time. I've actually seen a fair amount of people take the light break. Respawn time is really good.
It's what we've seen from the Chinese. With the Bloodstone and the respawn time, it's instant up. Like, you have like 3 Linas, and you may need her. The Rock will drop, the Fatal Bonds will connect him, and Ana, not a healthy man, tries to nuke down the Nyx Assassin, and Ana's taking too much damage because Notel's copping it, so it's Fly. They just have to run and let that saddle regeneration do the work, but Ana, 40, trying to bolt charge through it, 20. Finally, the Fissure will connect. And it connects on Fly to ensure that kill, which gets the Lina in return. She's already back into the world of the living. And this is without a Bloodstone running down the bottom lane. And this is when you have to back up if you're Faceless, because if you don't, that X mark spot's going to pull him back over with the ship and Laguna Blade available. They can just kill off Black, not even having to use it. Sorry, Laguna Blade is down. So they get the kill on the spec. And ISI starts running away. Ana with that high movement speed. Torrent won't be able to connect, but they do have that vision of where Ice is.
They need the X. Oh.
And they got it.
Yep.
Say goodbye to Nuts. Bloody him and his name having Ice in the end. I will reprimand him.
Rest respawn time is so good.
Yeah. Like, why would you take the Light Strike Array when you can have that?
Because you don't expect to die. But as Lina, especially versus the Nyx in the game, I think S4 gets jumped. Same deal. Does the Carapace on a return? No way to outplay that if isn't.
Even committed Echo Slam. I think they realized they did just a little bit more damage to kill the Centaur.
Better safe than sorry. And he has range drops. So.
But I'm looking at bottom lane again. Like, there's no Spectral Haunt, there's no Echoes, there's no Echo Slam, there's no Rock. So Notel knows he can just solo push the tier 2 tower down and still take the objective he wants. And so far, Faceless still haven't taken a tier 1 tower. The TP comes up towards top lane, so OG, they continue to lose players on this top lane defense, but they haven't lost any of their tier 1 towers yet. Maybe now they do lose S4, Sunstrike will connect, Ice can't get over the other side of the Fissure, so Stampede forward. Notel will arrive up on the top lane. If he's got Gust available, can push him back with a double edge. Nyx Assassin down very, very low. That last arrow, not enough. He dropped down to 6 HP. Black under the tower of Frostbite. Another stun. Black just wants to kill him off. The damage, he may have enough Smite Carapace. Ice will survive and TP out after killing off Notel. At the same time, you do lose jabs in the mid lane. To a side gank out from OG.
Big place on both sides. Ice and S4 going at it.
But then the D-push of the dominated creep.
They're doing a really good job controlling the tower movement. This is exactly what we want in the Drought Ranger. Being able to defend all those towers, and take down all the towers, and open up the map for your entire team. Eventually take down Roshan, and just make this a much faster game than a Spectre and a Warlock box played. When have we seen rock drops? While.
Yeah.
When are they going to be able to use the Haunt? Like, Haunt's pretty long cooldown, 140 at... Definitely do not want to give her time And I do see the quick buy. Spectre just going for straight Radiance after the face.
XY is going to fissure out. ISI's in the neighborhood. He's going to try and just ship and torrent his way to safety, but that's not going to work for Jirax.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
It'll be nuts to find the kill on him.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And they knew he was coming over. The Observer and Sentry Ward up next to the Bounty Rune saw it all.
X says, get this Centaur away from me.
And needs space to farm. Doesn't exist at the moment. And the Dire Observer Ward actually gets cut off by the tree line, so it sees the back of the tier 2 tower in mid, but doesn't see the rotation of jabs to the bottom lane. But S4 seems to sense it anyway, and will back up.
Doesn't want to die when he's so close to it.
You just save farm it closer to the side shop, that'll work. Bloodstone is now completed, so welcome to the 12 Bloodstone charges on Ana. He's looking to go for Boots of Travel as his next one. Still the top net worth on the field.
That's the blink. Not vision there anymore. A little bit blind. Radiant has you scan their expected movement from app. Scout it out for him. Always vigilant of the Nyx assassin, perhaps. So, Fly. Pretty quiet game for him. Looks like he's going for Mexico.
Oh, that Sentry Ward. He'll get the Spy Carapace off, and Ana's trying to wait the max amount of time, waiting for the Spy Carapace to come down, so his Light Strike Array will hit the mark. And instantly you see OG trying to capitalize, push the Familiars as well as the Sata into the tier 1 tower, and force Faceless into a heavy defensive position. And with the arrival of Notel, they gotta fortify the tower at 17 HP. It's still gonna go down.
Easy free tower. And Ice has not been doing too well in the farm department. Not even close to his Midas. Most people will be going for a Blink Dagger. That's going to be like a 20-minute blink from him, unless they get some big kills right here. And Radiance still going to be quite some time, but are they really just going to let 2 towers fall?
Do they have a choice? Probably the bigger question. Hopstomp Pin able to catch both Warlock as well as the Earthshaker. With that Laguna Blade, it means there is no rock, there's no Fatal Bonds. And it will be 2 towers gone. They try and X marks back, but that's it. Towers will fall and OG will TP out. They're already looking to try and find Black out of position. They know they have to delay that Radiance a little bit longer.
I don't know how much difference the Radiance are going to make here. They have the mech up pretty soon on the Visage, so they have the team fight items to weather it. And I think after those 3 towers have been taken down in the mid and left side of the map, Roshan is theirs for the taking. Earthshaker's still working on his Blink Dagger too. They're just a few items away. Radiance, like, it's 2,000 gold. And Blink Dagger is also like 1,000 gold.
Alright, just letting people know too, I know there's been a couple of drops over on the stream. Just give it a quick F5 and hopefully everything is going to function. It's like something just went a little bit awry with the intake server. Fissure, but where's the follow-up? Without that Blink Dagger or the Earthshaker, he can't close the distance to get the proper initiation he wants. Oh, next marks the spot. They actually managed to hit onto jabs. Torrent's going to miss his timing. The Sentry Ward was planted down as Ice just thumps the ground, but doesn't bring the rock.
That was a little scary for jabs. Whew. Got lucky that Jirax missed his combination. They would love to take that in a Roche, but they're going to have to look for another opportunity.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Smokes. You see 1 on Jirax. A good time, I would say. They still need a hit before the Radiance is online for Spectre. Looks like he does have enough money for the Relic. Heading to the shop right now. A couple of minutes. The supports have nowhere to farm though. Like Spectre's already having enough to farm, and it definitely gets priority over like the Shaker.
Yeah. But Shaker needs the Blink Dagger in order to start the team fights. Because right now Ice is getting just worked. S4's always got the better position on him, and with Stampede and Blink Dagger, you are not surprised about that.
Centaur's just much better at farming than Nick.
The Nyx was meant to be farming heroes in combination with the Sunstrike, but Jabs hasn't really had the opportunity to make the most out of that Sunstrike. Like, there's been a couple of kills here and there, but it hasn't been really... hasn't really been happening a lot. And Ice is already on the hunt again. They go invis, they smoke up quickly. Look for their target if they possibly can. But on bottom lane, Ana and S4, they're wrapping around. So Ice is the frontline guinea pig. See if the smoke breaks. See if there's anyone invis. Fly is nearby. But they don't really know to go down this. They just leave an observe ward behind. Now they get the vision over on Fly. S4 and Ana are moving over as well, but it's just going to be like ships of the night at the moment. They're both near each other, but no one really hits any mark.
Still waiting for Roche. Can they get it? I think they can take it off super quickly, but with the lack of a medallion on this, which is like, I definitely prefer the neck in this scenario though.
But you've still got all the damage you need from Lina, right?
Yeah, it's just not that fast. Spectre inside the pit, it could be a disaster.
When I'm looking at the Lina attacking that quickly and doing about 210 a hit.
Yeah, look at the siege.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
And they're forced to fortify of a basic attack from Alina.
Plus 50 damage now. Wow.
Who needs cast range? So you're going to have the plus 50 damage, then the plus 150 attack range. Spire Carapace will connect, but it's all about the Light Strike array. They've just been to hold him there with the EMP burn. This is problematic for OG, but they already have enough damage to kill off Ice. The Echo Slam, minimal effectiveness from XY, but the Fatal Bonds, that may do more work. Visage is dying so quickly. Even S4's having trouble staying alive. The Sunstrike looking for his target, won't be able to connect. As Durax starts his run, goes for the Torrent. S4 will die. Durax right behind him. Took that damage from Black and it all got shared out. Even the poor little Purge Creep won't be able to survive. Another Tornado. Jabs made so much space in that last fight, and now he's in a little bit more trouble with the Guna Blade and the familiar drop down. The control is just too good. Ana No Tail. You have to respect the damage output of these two heroes.
Where was the earn up from Black? He didn't earn while they were chasing. They were like very hesitant about chasing the tower. Ana kept trying to cancel his stun as they were coming up the hill, but they weren't topped off, and Laguna had not been used yet at that point. Ana is still very, very strong. And even though there was only 2 people, No Tail was also up, so that precision archer to them looks like this will be the time for them to X to push out the bottom lane. Nice.
Yep. Well, he's got a lot of clearance, so hey, why not? What do you actually think about his build going into the Aghanim Scepter? I know it's not an unusual thing for Linger to get, but when you're going for this heavy DPS build, is there something better you can go? I can not say like Maelstrom is going to be like the item of choice or
Silver
like
Edge would be my choice. I like Silver Edge a lot versus Spectre. Getting rid of this version. Spectre's so easy to kill, especially with the Yules to set up. You can just like Yules, stun, Silver Edge, break after the stun, and then just kill her.
Sounds like a good way to start the day.
Yeah.
There's that Blink Dagger up for XY. Hiding in the tree line on the bottom lane. Primary issue is Echo Slam is still down for another 35 seconds. The advantage is OG aren't looking to push.
They actually need more items to put some. Centaur's falling.
Need to finish the BKB as well, No Tail.
Hype is going to be... Even with the mech, they got rolled in the fight with the Haunts plus the Fatal Bonds. So they still need to be able to kill the Warlock. Warlock is very high priority. Probably even higher than anyone else if this rock's still up.
Well, that's why it's S4 initiating on him when OG was looking to take that tier 2 tower on top.
Yeah, he needs to die. He needs to get Laguna or Loaded or Gus. Any one of those is fine. But can't allow him to drop rock plus Fatal Bonds. Spectre can just clean up in the back. Spectre it was kind of a slow mid-game, so kind of favorable to Spectre, but it's kind of that point where like one bad fight and Spectre, it can just be out of control for the rest of it.
The Nuts Rock is back off cooldown. So that will be available. And it's having the time of his life farming, but Draw Ranger maybe not. Fissure actually pushed him into the Sunstrike. So the Aegis Immortal is going to disappear.
Just one Nyx stun. That's all it took. And then a plethora of other spells. All they need to set it up.
And back into the farm. It's like, okay, so Aegis Immortal will disappear.
They want to be able to push it into this, but fighting uphill and the Spectre into the Shrine is really hard. They have to be able to X people back and just constantly get hit with those, but with no Aegis anymore, Drow Ranger could just die at a drop of a feather. Drop of a hat. Drop of a hat. I was like, drop of a feather doesn't sound right. It could be really slow, but it...
Blown over like a feather? Is that what you're trying to go over for?
Drop of a hat.
Drop of a hat.
I think that's... It doesn't sound right, though.
Drop like a sack of potatoes.
That sounds like something you...
It's...
You equivalent.
I don't know if that's a European source.
Oh, sun out onto Ana, cut up by Ice Ice.
Tornado! It doesn't reach him. And it's got so much movement speed to get away. And now he gets extra bottle charges with his regen room, with the bounty room.
Just a little bit of time wasted. Faceless, no big deal. Buying time for Spec to get big.
I'm assuming too he goes for the plus 40/4% firing soul stack. Goodbye Escort. That's just 25 like a talent. And this goodbye Kunkka. He even got the observable sentry down, but it still didn't help him.
Good kills, good kills. Spectre getting the time that needs. I actually think that H skill is really important. They were looking to break high ground at that point. When your Drow Ranger just dies like that, you're like, well, and that's that. If that happens one more time, we lose everything.
Hannah's looking. I don't know if he knows he's being stalked by Ice Ice Ice, who will connect on the Sun. Sunstrike's coming in. It's still not enough damage to find the kill.
They need a max mana burn. A couple more levels for that.
Yeah, but good luck, Ice Ice Ice. He can't find the space. At least the Radiant's been done with the Meta Star coming up. But even then, that's going to work against you. The Illusions are going to push out the lanes. They're not going to take the experience.
He needs the... He might need a Midas, actually, on Ice Ice. Because I think eventually you're going to want to Scepter. Mana Burn versus Lina with the Scepter. Oh my god, that would so annoying to do. Even though she's building into a battle build, she is still quite susceptible to, I know, mana burn down time. Question of...
Oh, hello. They saw the X mark, the Sunstrike's coming in, and boom! Ana is down, but the ship returned. They try and control up Ice Ice Ice, so there's going to be some level of revenge. Another X mark spot. This one's over on the Nyx Assassin. But he's pulled back quickly. The Familiars hot on the trail. They are going to get the stuns down, 1 and 2, and allow No Tail to come in range, but another Fissure and the Spike Carapace making it difficult. Ice 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 just goes in. He blinks himself in to be part of the fight. There was no other support coming his way. And now no Nyx Assassin, and OG just want to push. Because you had an instant respawn on the Lina.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
But where are they going? They're going top lane. They're looking for Black. He's got a TP scroll available as well as Spectral Haunt. And there goes the TP. The Radiant scan up. They actually hit the mark as well. And a lot of time wasted here of OG.
Tower is under attack.
They didn't even have Echo up. If they had Echo up for that fight, I think they could have reinitiated in. And they could have, like, as Nyx was getting X back and he popped his Carapace, they could have blinked in with the Echo and then follow with a Pale. That could have been really devastating for the Echo pin up. But it was not. A little bit of ways. Spectre, Manta coming on very, very soon. OG, they seem a little bit worried at this point. It's definitely warranted. Ana shows how easily he can maybe. Spectre has not died in a very long time.
This is what Black does, right? Has a very, very hard early game and then just seems to vanish off the face of the map, appears every now and then for a team fight, but just walks out with a crap ton of money. And he has the second highest net worth on the field. Obviously, he's nowhere near the power of the Lina. Like with Ags going into BKB for Ana, and it's going to have a very fun time surviving in the fights. And if the Draw Ranger can stick up with her, there's a lot of money there too. Goodbye, Courier.
Has been killed.
Noto already has PKB. It's actually he can do a lot of damage as long as he just doesn't get stunned first, though. It could just take a rock for them to just lose the fight and not be able to pop his BKB.
So I'm wondering if he goes for something like a Hurricane Pike. Like if, like actually finishing it. Like actually no, he's already looking at it in the quick buy. Thinking anything which can give him that extra range. Even if he does get stunned, he has the potential to escape. Just doesn't have the sustain once he gets hit by Faceless with everybody together. Like that seems to be the bigger problem he has.
Just has to BKB it.
Yep. BKB, Hurricane Pike for reposition, and then
they need the Centaur ad component for their lineup right now.
That's another 3,000 gold away.
Yeah, they need a little bit more farm on him. He's
oh hello, but it's an X mark. Like even if Faceless initiates on this, it doesn't achieve anything.
Pull him back, no problem.
They're waiting for Roshan. That's all they really need. And that BKB money from Ana is...
The Axe is making quite tanky though.
Yeah.
So that's definitely one of the better reasons to buy Ags. Is, yeah, I mean no pipe, no like magic resist at all. So the pure versus the magic. You're seeing
Fly
important.
try and buy it. Like that's what's in his buy at the moment. At least the hood part of it. Right, without the resistance.
Yeah, it's unusual for sure.
Well, there's the BKB done. And soon it's gonna be that time when OG want to force the issue. But they need to almost bait it out, right? Like you gotta get Echo Slam as well as Spectral Haunt Rock. Like they're the three major abilities that you're looking to have one or two of these on cooldown.
How do you bait it out?
Good question. Very good question.
I don't know if it's bait if you
Is
just die.
X mark a target closer? It's like, do you want this? Do you want this? Just give us some slack and reel it in. Sunstrike, gonna hit the mark, and there's your X mark. Ice, pulls back in. Torrent will hold him there, and there's the Nyx Assassin down. Rock will fall. They need the kills. Fatal Bonds does connect up quite nicely, but there's no real damage coming in. The Rock's already been dealt with, and now it's Ice being pulled back into Nuts being pulled back into the fight. He'll go down. Your Echo Slam will connect. The damage is high with the Fatal Bonds connecting them. It will do some work, but no tell. The BKB will protect him. Now Spectre up and towards the air. Ana on 60 HP will survive. Jabs wants him to tornado. It will not be able to connect, however. So the Bloodstone regeneration is kicking in. Familiar's still being pesky on the back of XY. Won't allow him to blink away quickly. And that's why Notal is moving forward. And Ana comes back to the front lines too.
It's such a tough fight for Faceless. They're trying to bait out Ice, but it's... Where was the follow-up? They just let him die early on. The Rock came out a tiny bit late, but the Echo Slam is really what needs to come in for them. Or Haunt. Actually, Haunt wouldn't have really done anything there. They need the Fatal Bonds up before the Haunt. But OG are kind of just sticking up as a ball, which is really good versus Desolate. Really bad.
Lens the stun. Here comes the Sunstrike. Fatal Bonds. The Familiar's connected, and Ana's gonna fall. Ice will lose his life, but it does stop the Roshan from happening quickly. But S4 gets a perfect hoof stomp. That's the bigger one. Catching out Jabs, ending his killing spree.
Oh, look who's back in 5 seconds.
It's Alina! And just BT's onto the Familiars. Goodbye, Roshan. She's still got 9 Bloodstone charges after all of this.
Nice.
You're getting an armlet in for Kunkka. So Jirax is looking to amplify his damage and his sustain. Notel's going for the E-Blade.
Ooh, the E-Blade. Not one we see often.
Right, because it normally works against what the Draw Ranger does, but statistics-wise, it's actually really good for the cost. I suppose it does buff up with both Visage as well as Lina. Maybe not.
Butterfly actually doesn't give you any speed versus all those magic bursts. It does give you perhaps that extra little bit of strength to survive. But now the siege begins. I wonder if we're actually going to start seeing Dragonlances so they can attack.
It would make sense, but would you really want to get a Dragonlance when Bloodstone is still a good priority?
Nah, you actually don't need it because
Echo Slam up on top. Do they have enough damage for Ranger? Notal BK beat up. He'll survive through this. That's the Echo Slam and the Spectral Horn out, and they did not find the kills.
They just have not been great at killing. He was at 200 HP. That is like almost anything.
They messed up. I'm fairly certain Notel was expecting to be X marks back by Jirax. He'll have to walk it now.
Still provides
yeah.
Yes. Wow. I don't even know why I meant to.
Look at Hannah!
Yeah, they have the attack range out on her.
He doesn't even care about our people. It's like, okay, yeah, well done, Nuts. You keep that down. You just do that. But Anna is a sniper. The familiars will get the vision up on the high ground, and Anna takes the tier 3 tower. Well worth the 100 gold you lost. Okay, you just threw away 200 gold.
504 Moose People, 3 Fire 8 soul stats. That's very fast. And of course a ton of attack. 0.3 seconds each attack.
Woman is a machine gun. Anna's looking for a little bit more as the melee Rags is already taken out. Familiar's up to do the work on that. They'll both clap down. It's just the resummon of Fly too. He doesn't have a new set for another 2 minutes, so he really wants to try and save him. And with only the Fiery Spirits doing damage, it's easy enough.
Oh my goodness, Lina is ridiculous.
Ridiculous is the word. What are we looking to buy up? The Courier is making a run, so who's got the most amount of money right now? There's 4k gold sitting on the Invoker.
Spectre's.
This is Lincoln's.
Is he Needlingers? I guess X Ruins. But generally you just get beat.
Or is it just to try and avoid that burst damage as well from the Lina?
Potentially. But
normally that you could duels.
Yeah, normally you wouldn't get caught by you wouldn't get caught unless you get X'd. Well, here they go. Smoke up. Drow Ranger's not there, but they're actually showing the Drow Ranger. Oh, and OG. Oh, Black. They know Black's coming. They scanned him out. Oh my goodness, what a stun.
Oh, wow. And the Familiar rocks. It's everything will hold him there, and there's no buyback.
What a play. Oh my goodness.
73 seconds on the sideline. Black doesn't have anything. He picked up Blade Mail. He was hoping to actually kill OG, and now it's even the Earth Spirit who has to be force-staffed away to safety. Well, it's XY's own force-staff, but Anna starts up again. Kill off the Forward Spirits, and then just pew 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 hee hee ho ho ha ha.
There's snipers, and then there's
now there's
7.00 snipers.
It's like Lina, who always is involved in the early fights, because it doesn't matter if she dies, and then just becomes a powerhouse. They put the Observer Board up on the hill, so there's no obstructed vision now, and with the Drow Ranger and the Lina together, the racks just disintegrate. Didn't realize I still have the Lina gold up. I'm like, wow, she's got a lot of net worth, just sitting on a casual 6,000 gold for Lina. Do the split push, X mark it back. I don't know if she really needs to buy a Blink Dagger at this point.
Probably not. Just 6,300 gold. Why waste it on a 2,200 gold item?
Yep.
What else did you get though?
Bloodthorn.
Bloodthorn? Bloodthorn's pretty good.
So you trigger the Lincolns with the Yule Scepter and then instantly go into Bloodthorn on the Invoker. I mean, he's got no answer to that.
I like the damage.
But okay, that's what you're doing. A double Tantrune bolted up. There goes the Aegis the Immortal now.
Could always get Rapier.
Could get Rapier, but the risk just is not required. MKB, Daedalus, that'll be your other options.
I don't think you need MKB, and there's very little evasion. Radiance burn.
Yeah.
So that would definitely not be my choice.
This chance that you get. And it's Bloodthorn. Ba-boom. Right the first time, man.
Bloodthorn is the most... It's an expensive item that synergizes well. Daedalus wouldn't... I actually wouldn't mind a Daedalus at all, but I think Bloodthorn allows you to use your BKB a little bit less. Like, you were trying to go in the Nyx, trying to burst.
This one little Sada Banisher is trying to force Faceless out of their hiding position. But OG are already coming down the mid lane. They're pushing with Familiars. They're going to force Faceless to reveal themselves just with a push in the lane.
And another smoke. Where are they going now? They know one more kill on Black is likely in the game, but he is right next to his Ranger X and right next to two.
That can keep him alive. Deeper Observer Ward.
Black's right next to the shrine though.
He doesn't see it. There's the jump forward. S4 just baiting at the mana style. Visual be there as well. And the Echo Slam. All of that's on top of S4. And they still don't find the kill. They turn on the pipe. The Feather Bonds will connect up OG for now. And maybe with the upheaval, they're a little bit too slow to get away. But no, they are fast enough. The BKBs protect them. So many huge abilities triggered out by Faceless. And there's going to be nothing left in the tank. The Blade Mail on Spectre yules up into the air and then hit the ground, being completely unprotected. Fly will actually take the double kill. Gabs was also forced to buy back. Without that Invoker, without that control, they just can't do much more. You do have Spec with his own buyback, but OG lost nothing and everything from Faces as far as ultimates were expended.
They were scrambling to catch him out. The Invoker blinked into Ice Wall and then just died in like 5 right clicks. Maybe not 5, maybe like it seemed like 5 right clicks. It was so fast.
Yeah, with Alina, that's only like maybe 0.0001 of a second.
Wow. And Invoker, now he's like, well, I have a Lincoln, but it didn't do anything for me because I just got right clicked.
When you wonder if that BKB choice would have been a little bit better, but this
it also doesn't do anything. That's right clicks.
There's so much physical damage just flying at him. Well, there's your buyback over on Black. The tier 3 town down low fortification also triggered off. And no ultimates coming up, but you can see what Ice is trying to do. He TPs into the shrine. He comes up from behind to get some level of vision, but they've got no way to initiate.
They have a gem on Centaur. They have the Ags. Stampede's already moved down.
I don't know. Maybe that's one way to do it. Find Jirax out of position. Remember, he's got that armlet. He's got the toggle available. Lina slowed up a little bit, but with the BKB done, okay, you just instantly rip apart. You'll lose the Invoker in the mid. You'll lose the next Assassin over on the side. Spike Carapace will allow him to survive just that little bit longer, but the Familiar Stun was already there. Nuts will give the extra heal, but he'll also give his life, and that's basically the game. GG is the call. It is OG who will remain undefeated in Group A as they take out Faceless 2-0 and claim the maximum points so far of the day.
OG are ahead of the curve, though. This is bring back Draw Ranger when